God's country, as they say in these parts. We're in the heart of Yorkshire for the RFU Under-18 Champions Trophy. We are here in Leeds for the Grammar School Athletes against Barnard Council School. It's a semi-final here live on RFU TV. It should be an interesting tussle, this one, on a soggy November day. You can see the referee out in the middle right now with the two captains. Just be want to get underway very, very shortly. Delighted to say Dave Rogers is alongside me. Dave, a very good afternoon to you. You've been watching a lot of rugby on this Champions Trophy season. This is the first one I've done this season. Tell me, what has the standard been like?
First of all, hi Johnny. Yeah, great to be here. The matches that we've covered so far have been absolutely fantastic. We went to the second round, Millfield against Tunbridge. Millfield were victorious, but by just 2 points. The standard and the drama was unbelievable. Then we went to Oakham for Oakham versus Epsom. Epsom was 17 unbeaten going into that match, but Oakham came through, so 2 points in that one too. If that's anything to go by, this is going to be a close one.
Indeed it will be. Grammar School at Leeds, this is how they line up. First of all, Abhijit Olaswal, followed by Sam Ward, who is the captain and under Yorkshire 18th player, along with Dominic Harmon and Harry Francis. Simon Phillips, another Irish Exiles player, a 5, Jonathan Webster 6, Harry Moore 7, Will Shepherd 8, Harry Bolser is the scrum half at 9, Harrison Brown-Rowe, another Yorkshire under-18s player at 10, Chris Burke 11, Will Newitt 12, Tom Gorman, an England under-16 star and also the Rugby World Player of the Month for October, he goes at 13, Max Hay 14, Jonathan Haslam is the fullback at 15 and they're coached by Mr. John McKenzie. Barnard Council School from the north east of England. This is how they lay the line up. Rowan Hall Beasley 1, Jack Beckwith at 2, James Davidson 3, Sam Adamson, do beg your pardon, and Callum Simpson are the locks at 4 and 5. Callum Fawcett 6, James Hemming 7, Isaac Burke is the number 8, Harvey Barks the scrum half, Sam Leeming is the fly half, John Clouston 11, Ethan Kelso 12, Jack Headley 13, Hamish Glover 14 and the fullback Tom Metcalf, and they're coached by Mr. Martin Petter. Placements of Grammar School at Leeds, Gerard Ellis, Robert Dunn, Alex Roney, Will Barker, Jake Mitchell, Tom Meggs and Luke Powderley, and a couple of changes for Barnard Castle, George Shepherd, Ben Lilly, Duncan Hewitson. 19 is Tom Hunter, 20 Jack Marston, 21 Jamie Preston, and 22 is Sam Theakston, and we are just moments away, in fact seconds away from this tussle to get underway. A place at the Alliance Park is up for grabs between these two schools. Leeds in the grey and Barnard Castle will be in blue, and our referee Mr. Jack Makepeace gets us underway. Collected by James Davidson of Barnard Castle. Harvey Barks to fly half Sam Leeming. Kicks it up the field. A little bit of a slip, it is a little soggy and a little bit wet out there. Blue sky above our heads right now though, and hopefully the rain will hold off. It's been very wet up here in the north of England all morning. And quite wet underfoot as well, so the players will have to get to grips of that. And it's a strong start.
Absolutely, both teams showing a little bit of confidence there. Firstly, it was a great take from James Davidson from the kickoff, but Grammar School at Leeds not scared to run out of their own half, even though it is soggy underfoot. The ball is very wet. You can see already a lot of mud on it, so it'll be interesting to see the tactics that both teams take into this first half, but a nice little dab through touch finder there.
Indeed it is. Mind you, of course, 35 minutes a half. This level of play. A new competition been introduced by the RFU this year, this Champions Trophy, to try and get more competitive rugby for all the schools. And from what we've seen so far this season, it has been a major success by the RFU. First line out of the day, Jack Beckwith is the hooker. A little bit of a juggling act, and it's been collected by Leeds.
Get some depth, boys, get some depth.
You see a lot of players covered in mud already, and we've only played less than 90 seconds, so difficult conditions here in the early part, and it will be Barnard Castle who have put in at the scrum.
Yeah, we saw Jack Beckwith there taking a lot of time to dry the ball. Unfortunately, once it's in open play, the opposition don't have the same luxury, and that's the first time we've seen the ball spill like a bar of soap, as they say. We're less than 2 minutes in already. The player's absolutely covered in mud. Look at the lead scrum half there. half caked in mud, but it'll be interesting to see how the both packs keep their footing in this first scrum.
Harry Bolster, beg your pardon, is a lead scrum with the foot in. Good defence here from Barnard Castle. A little bit loose, so the ball will be wet. And a good little run here from Tom Gorman, the 16th player, and he's underneath the post. Superb stuff from Leeds and a superb start.
Well, that's the first time we've seen any of the backs run a line. Tom Gorman there, a little switch play. He comes in, takes it short off the first receiver, straight through the gap. He already had his wheels turning at full tilt, and what a start for the undefeated home team.
Indeed, Tom Gorman, England under-16s player, the Rugby World Player of the Month. And what a start he is, Leeds talisman, and you can see absolutely why. 5-0 to the home team in the early part of this one. And it will be Addison Brown-Raw who will add the extras.
You play it? Yeah, you are.
Superb start for the grammar school at Leeds. 7 points to 0 inside 3 minutes. Tom Gorman, the man of the moment right now, and in all fairness,
Let's get after it
Leeds
now! Come on!
got their just desserts there, didn't they?
They certainly did. It was a good offensive scrum from Barnard Castle there, but Leeds just about managed to hold it up so they could get the ball out. Scrum half straight to the outside half, and it was a wonderful line from Tom Gorman. Perhaps we'll be able to see a replay of that at some stage, because he had a fantastic line. Barnard Castle couldn't lay a hand on him. As we can see the mud there, it's really sticky in that bottom corner.
Chase Warding! Yeah,
great
kick, boss, great kick!
As the half progresses, but it was a great finish from Tom Gorman, 7-0.
Tom Metcalf with an excellent take. Jack Headley this time on the right-hand side. Picked up by Ethan Kelsall. Kelsall under pressure, and it looks like Barnard Castle do have an advantage of sorts. Picked up this time by the flanker, James Hemmings.
Onside! Step!
Advantage now may be over. So now Barnard Castle looking to come forward this time with the lock, Sam Adamson. A little bit of a loose pass, going to be in a little bit of trouble here again. Metcalf needs to pick up the pieces, and under pressure comes down, but the referee has called play back for an earlier infringement.
Yeah, Barnard Castle trying to go through the phases there, but not really able to get any momentum because the pitch is so wet. I think they might have to change their game plan. They tried to bring it in through the forwards, but once they'd gone through those initial few phases, they weren't able to keep the ball in hand and release the backs. So we've got another opportunity for a scrum here. Barnard Castle got the shove on in the first one. This is another chance for them to attack the grammar school at Leeds scrum. So let's see how they get on.
Well, they didn't do too bad with their first scrum, but this is where Leeds did score from. It's a decent scrum again from Leeds, and picked up by Harry Bolser, who goes to his left this time, and again they're off again with Tom Gorman. Tom Gorman out on the left-hand side, going for the corner is Jonathan Haslam, and he may have just found touch. He has done, and you can see who's only in arm's length away there, Dave.
Absolutely. Tom Gorman again. This time he receives the ball from Will Newitt, who hit a good line, but it was Tom Gorman running the support line on the shoulder, and again he's at full tilt when he receives the pass. It was good vision for him to spot the fullback Haslam outside, who just reached for the line, but it was good backtracking defence from Barnard Castle. Now Jack Beckwith has got to make sure that this line out is on the money, because his team are really under pressure here.
Yes, really are. Leeds on the front foot in these first 6 minutes. Needs a good line out, goes long instead, and it is collected by Barnard Castle, but they're deep inside their own territory and looking to advance up the field. Sam Leeming does kick up the field, and a decent kick it is as well. It's just stopped there, Dave, in the mud.
He hasn't found touch, but that is an absolute monster kick. Unfortunately for him, it'll give the ball back to Grammar School at Leeds, who are punching hole in their defence at will. But what a right foot from the Barnard Castle man.
Indeed, wind assisted, I might add you. The wind is right to left in this first half, so Leeds going against the wind here. But right now, I think it's tries is what they're looking for, and maybe not kicks. Barnard Castle looking to try and get into this game after 7 minutes, and Leeds are really starting this one out on the front foot there with Harry Franks, the Yorkshire under-18s player, picked up by Harry Bolser. The scrum half ball comes out, comes loose, and the referee calls it back for an earlier infringement. and Leeds will have advantage with a penalty.
Well, we can see the flags blowing there. As you say, Barnard Castle really do have the wind advantage, and we've seen that corner, which is in their left to Leeds' right, that corner by the try line is really sticky. I think Barnard Castle should really look to try and plug that corner to play a little bit of rugby in the Grammar School at Leeds half, because at the moment they haven't really got an answer for the home team.
Well, right now, but it's still early days. We're only a fifth of the way through this first half. Barnard Castle been really put under pressure by the home team. His work ethic has been excellent so far. Sam Ward, the captain, also playing hooker, an Irish Exiles player, Yorkshire under-18s player as well. Goes along with this line-up collected by Harry Francis. The referee has said that one isn't straight, gentlemen, so we'll try a scrum instead.
Yeah, it was a good take from Francis, but he did take it outside his body, which is usually a good indicator that the throw wasn't straight. Once again, a chance for Barnard Castle to relieve the pressure. The scrum's been interesting, really. As I said, Barnard Castle got on the front foot with the first one, but since then, neither pack has been able to dominate, and it's a case of whether they are evenly matched or whether it's just that difficult for either pack to try and get a foothold on the game.
Harvey Bucks collects. Sam Leeming with another catapult of a foot. It's like a rocket, it really is. And it's something that the Leeds players will have to remember, and that one has gone into touch, and I think that one's gone out on the full, so they may replay and send that one back.
Yeah, it was a miss kick, really. You could tell it came off the side of his foot. He was looking to get a bit of territory for his team, was the Leeds man. But here we have a line-out for Barnard Castle, and perhaps a chance for them to go through the phases again and get a bit of territory of their own.
Good crowd here in Leeds. It's been a little wet day. Barnard Castle, though, have lost it at the line-out, and Leeds will look to attack again on the front foot. They come. Picked up again by Harry Francis, the Yorkshire under-18s player. Harry Bolser, the scrum half, sends it forward to Dominic Hardman. Bolser collects, goes to his left, uses the man on his left. Max Hay, full of running, inside the 22 now, and Barnard Castle really under pressure here by this Leeds 15. Gorman trying to make the run, instead it goes to Will Newitt. Out on the right-hand side, the ball stops in its tracks. Like a golf ball would spin on a green, it's just stopping there right in the mud.
Nice, Simon!
Simon Phillips, at scrum half. Out into midfield. Number 8, Will Shepherd. Referee has called playback for a earlier penalty.
What's really been working for Leeds is when players aren't isolated. You've seen a couple of times they've hit the contact zone and they've managed to get the offload away before they hit the deck, and that's where they've been making really easy yards. Where they came unstuck a little bit there is when they tried to put a little bit of width on it, then when players were receiving it they were isolated. That way the Barnard Castle defenders could get on top of them and plug the momentum, but what it has meant is there was an infringement in the middle of the pitch, and once again Barnard Castle are under pressure. However, when Grammar School at Leeds are running in twos, that is when they're causing absolute havoc for the away team.
Indeed they are right now, and surprisingly, well, they're really full of confidence right now. Maybe not surprisingly. 3 points were on offer inside the 22. They've turned it down, gone for the line out instead, and it's been picked up by Will Shepherd. Leeds really in the ascendancy here, and they could be double their lead. They might do now. Another try. Superb stuff. Leeds really are in the ascendancy, and they're going to lead by 12 points to 0, and it's been all one-way traffic so far, Dave.
Yeah, their set piece has been fantastic. They've been nicking lineouts off Barnard Castle. Then when they have one of their own deep inside the away territory, they've run a lovely training ground move there. It was a great take, straight down to the scrum half. We'll see a replay now. In fact, it was actually popped off to the 7, played blind to the 8, who's got a man outside him. The 4 for Barnard Castle, Sam Adamson, does his best, but it's too little, too late, and 12-0. Fantastic move, well executed by Grammar School at Leeds.
12 in the lead, Will Newitt was the scorer. And this to go 14-0 clear, and it's been, as I said, all one-way traffic so far. Barnard Castle still have time to get into this game, but Leeds are trying to make sure that they don't get there. How's this one? A little bit left of the upright, so it's 12-0 to the home team. after 12 minutes.
Yeah, tough kick into the wind there. He gave it his best, dropped a little bit short. But Barnard Castle need to get some territory and need to just go through the phases. Every time Grammar School at Leeds have got on the ball, they've just powered forward. And it's absolutely exhausting for any team when all you're doing is defending and going backwards. So the next few minutes are really important for Barnard Castle, and that's a good start.
Time for them to get some territory. Try and run through the phases. They haven't got dirty yet until their shoots. Number 8, Isaac Bryce. Picked up by the scrum half, Harvey Barks, who offloads to John Clouston. And sent back from where they came. James Hemmings acting scrum half. Picked up by Isaac Bryce again. Close to the touchline. He's given Barnard Castle the penalty. 12-0 down. Go for the corner, Dave.
Well, 12-0 is it's a deceptive scoreline. I mean, if Barnard Castle get a try here, then they're straight back in the game. They're actually going for the post. I think it's important that they do try and get some momentum, and there's no way quite like getting momentum than keeping the scoreboard ticking over. But we can see the puddle right next to the ball here. This is not going to be an easy kick by any stretch of the imagination, whether it's wind assisted or not. That was a bit more positive from Barnard Castle, but when they do have the ball in hand, they look a little bit devoid of ideas, and the Grammar School at Leeds defensive line looked absolutely immaculate there for that short period of time. So as I said, I think they need to mix it up a little bit more and use this corner. I mean, we can see how warm the pitch is and how much rainfall. Don't let the blue skies fool you, Johnny. It's absolutely hammered down here all day, but a chance for Castle to get off the mark here.
Indeed, Sam Leeming is the man. We've seen the thunderbolt he has on him, so this should be well within his range. This to reduce the arrears to 9 points. It's not a bad effort, a bit more of a pitching wedge than a 9-iron, but it worked all the same. Into the heart of the post, and it's 12-3 now. The scoreline, the arrears have been reduced to 9 points.
Well, that'll give them a little bit of confidence, because that's the first time they've really been inside the Grammar School at Leeds half, and they've come away with some points, albeit a penalty. It'll be interesting to see how both teams respond now. See, Grammar School Leeds have gone deep with the kick, and that's a huge tackle again, looking to put the pressure on straight away.
Indeed they are. So another big kick from Lehman, who has been excellent work, and again it's a good take there from the fullback John Haslam. Reason being, it's not easy out there, you know, and here they come Leeds again, and they're off and running. They really are with Chris Bridge. Little cut to the corner, and no doubt that Tom Metcalf will make sure it's only a 5-metre scrum, but again, the Leeds attacking intent. Oh,
absolutely. And Chris Bridge, he's off his left wing on the right wing there. He looks absolutely enormous, doesn't he? Some athlete, but again, it's that man, Tom Gorman, scorer of the first try. Little dab into the in-goal area, and it's got to be an accurate dab too, because it's a very small in-goal area, but they're doing everything they can, Grammar School at Leeds, to play territorial rugby, but once again, they've gone short with the kick there. The man's not caught it quite as well as he wanted to, so Barnard Castle have got away with it at the one end and a chance to build some pressure of their own at the other.
Indeed, Barnard Castle restarting with a 22 dropout, I beg your pardon. So it's another chance for them to really try and get into this game, and this was the little darting run from Chris Bridge.
Yeah, there was a good shot off the ball then. Barnard Castle trying to mix it up physically, but Grammar School at Leeds just seemed to be able to break through that Barnard Castle defensive line, and it's paying dividends at the moment, 12-3.
Beckwith with the line-outs collected by Adamson. A chance here for Barnard Castle to try and get some attacking movements from inside the Leeds half, and it's a long pass, it's a loose pass, and it's still in Barnard Castle hands. Kick forward by John Clouston, didn't happen. Intercepted straight away. Now Leeds have it on the counter. Osnar, the number 1. Scrum half Harry Bolser. Simon Phillips. Gain over the gain line. Bolser. A little bit of a loose pass, but it's still in Leeds' hands. But here comes the cavalry and a heavy tackle from Barnard Castle, looking to try and turn this ball over. Still collected by Leeds. We've been sent back by Barnard Castle. Good defence this from Barnard Castle, and Leeds put under pressure, Dave.
Yeah, that all started from Barnard Castle's line-out. It's the first time they've had a clean take, but instead of being patient for it, they just tried to whip it right to left straight away, put some width on it, which often can be as a result of frustration when you feel you're on your back foot the whole time. But Grammar School at Leeds can get their hands on the ball and go from there. But that was more positive defence from Barnard Castle, forcing the kick this time, and a great kick in return that's been taken quickly. But Barnard Castle playing more rugby where they want to at this moment in time.
And they win the penalty as well. So a chance for them to clear their lines here as we go halfway through this first half. Dave, so far it looks at Leeds been the better of the two sides. Barnard Castle just trying to get into the game.
Well, the Leeds have won 10 out of 10 this season. You know, they're an informed team with quality players playing good rugby. So on their home patch, they're going to start really quickly, and they did. That first try from Gorman sort of shell-shocked Barnard Castle, really, and they've spent the whole match since then trying to get back into it. But slowly but surely, they are doing so. And if this competition has taught us anything, it's that the match is never over until the final whistle, because we've seen some unbelievable comebacks, but Barnard Castle do need to continue with this slow progress and be patient if they're to get back into this one at the moment.
I just say that Barnard Castle's Latin motto actually in English means once you've accomplished small things, you can attempt great ones slowly. So interesting. And they do win the penalty, so a chance for them to try and gain some attacking territory.
It's almost like that was planned, Johnny.
I do beg your pardon, they can attempt great ones safely. Actually, I should say, not slowly, safely. Sam Leeming. Down deep inside the Leeds 22, and a good chance for him to really get a good set piece going here.
That is a fantastic kick on the wrong side for the right footer to try and get some metres up the field there. It was a lovely, delicate dab, and the first time Barnard Castle have got the opportunity to really attack the Grammar School at Leeds 22. They've got quite a stingy defence. They've only conceded 102 points in 10 matches, so if you're going to score tries against this team, then you're going to have to work hard for them.
Beckwith with the lineouts, collected by Sam Adamson. And now here comes the charge from Barnard Castle. They're going slowly, look good under pressure there from Hardy Francis. Ball is there, Callum Simpson, a little bit of a loose pass, but still in Barnard Castle hands. Number 1, Rowan Hall-Beasley. 5 metres out. Harvey Barks. It's still out there, it's still there, Sam Adamson, but the referee said that ball has gone forward. There
have been too many times in this match for Barnard Castle where the scrum half, Harvey Barks, has looked up and he's just got no options at all. Twice there he had to take it on himself, when really 5 or 6 metres from the touchline there should be people screaming and options opening up absolutely everywhere. That's a get out of jail card there for Grammar School at Leeds, a chance to clear their lines here. Barnard Castle getting better, but still so much work to do if they're to get over that whitewash.
So Leeds look to cover, but they're under pressure. As the number 8, Will Shepherd, tries to come out from their own territory. Referee says the ball is out. And now they'll chance to clear. Down into territory. Does it stay in play? It looks like it hasn't. Barnard Castle will look to try and counter-attack from deep with Tom Metcalf. Collected by Harry Moore, who's not going to try and run from deep here. Little chip and chase from John Haslam. Barnard Castle under pressure, and could be another chance here for Leeds. Now Harvey Barks is really under pressure now, and he could have been turned over here. They're both teams trying to fish this ball out, and looks like Barnard Castle do have it. James Davidson with a little darting run. Another good kick from Leeming, who really does seem to get him out of trouble with his boots.
Another good kick, but that counter-attack from Grammar School at Leeds, when they've got the ball in hand and there's a bit of broken play, the way that they run in twos, I've mentioned it a few times, we're only 20 minutes in, is absolutely fantastic. You've got one man squaring up the tackler and he's got options either side, and before you know it, they're 50 or 60 metres up the field and the opposition are under a tremendous amount of pressure. And here we are with Barnard Castle looking like they're getting back into this territory-wise, straight back on the back foot, and Grammar School at Leeds are inside their 22.
Sam Ward, the captain of Leeds, with the line-outs. The leaning kick didn't go that far, it's still in the Barnard Castle 22, and now Leeds looking to really capitalise. Ward acting scrum half, picked up by Harry Francis. Volser. Here comes the run from Will Newitt, one of the try scorers. Men left and right, a little bit of a loose pass there, but referee does have a Leeds advantage here.
On Simon.
Tackled by James Hemmings, and now they come right with an intercepted pass, but I'm pretty sure they'll come back. That's merely a penalty advantage, and an opportunity missed there for Leeds, and Barnard Castle will be a little bit annoyed that they gave away an earlier penalty.
Well, John Clouston thought it was Christmas then. It was a flat pass. Leeds looking to put some width on it, and the left winger was on it. We saw a very similar one in the Wales-Australia game at the weekend, when Wales were trying to put some width on it and Australia just picked it off. And usually when the wingers get those opportunities, they put the hammer down and they are away, but there was an advantage being played. I think we're just seeing a replay now. It was a flat pass from the outside half, a bit ill-timed, and you can see there from John Clouston's reaction, he saw that as the opportunity to get his team right back into it. But what we should have here is a fairly routine 3 points for the home team.
Harrison Brown-Rowe looking to have the extras and now to extend the lead from 9 to 12. Relatively straightforward. Indeed it is. The flag to go up from the touch judges. Leeds are 12 points clear. They lead by 15 points to 3.
It's huge. That's a beauty.
So yeah, it's been
Right through the upright. That's where the ball wants to go. Keep it there. Oh, of course you did. Straight through the upright. Oh, Harrison, that's a beauty, mate. Keep that going, mate. Did you miss move? Yeah, great work.
So yeah, David, as I said, it's been
brother.
realistic, more or less one-way traffic. 10 minutes to go to half-time. Will Barnard Castle try and reduce the arrears to 9 points, maybe just another 3 points on the board? Try and keep Leeds to 15 at the minute.
Well, they've got 10 minutes to go. The difficult thing for them is, I mean, we said from the beginning that they need to try and get some territory rugby, but what tends to happen is every time they do get some territory, Grammar School at Leeds will find a way to turn the ball over and then just unleash another one of those phenomenal counter-attacks and put the away team straight back under pressure. That's what they're doing well at the moment. So I think what Barnard Castle need to do is just consolidate and play some rugby. When I say play some rugby, people think about slinging out huge passes and doing some Hollywood stuff, but that is not, it's not that sort of game today. Grammar School at Leeds have been at their best when they've kept it tight and they've punched holes in the defence. So Barnard Castle Leeds are on the front foot again.
And they're off and away. Picked up by number 12, Kelsall, but Leeds are under pressure and really looking to stop their authority here. Inside the 22.
Yeah, just get a ball, Harrison. Yeah, go Harrison, go.
Ball set.
What a pleasant surprise for the fans.
Brown-Rowe. Picked up by Max Kay.
Yeah, a little knock on there. It's often difficult to gather those, particularly when the ball's wet. I think what the coaching staff will be looking for from Barnard Castle is a little bit of character now going into half-time. There are 12 boys in this squad who are available and eligible to play in the team next year, so there's a little bit of youth, and sometimes when you're under so much pressure, it's easy to fold. At the moment, they're not doing that, and the coaches will really be looking to spot the characters, to try and G them up for the second half. It's just really important that they don't fall any further behind.
Yes, indeed. Yes, this Leeds, Grammar School Leeds team were under 15 cup winners a couple of years ago in the big trophy.
Watch that big boot.
Charged down, but the ball still ricochets out and is collected by Tom Metcalf.
Yeah, rock that. Get that ball. Right that ball there.
Loved a lot there, Barnard Castle, but they're still under pressure inside their own half.
They're going to clear the ball.
Many times you said that in the first 26 minutes of this time.
They've run the ball.
picked up by Callum Fawcett, the flanker.
Oh, look at this beauty.
Here comes
Good
Eamon with the big kick,
From the Barnard test.
sending that one downfield, and that one does find touch this time.
Yeah, Leeming definitely favours kicking to that right touchline. The first time we've seen him try and pick out the left touchline, he was put under great pressure and the kick was charged down. Luckily for him, it ricocheted to Tom Metcalf, and it's a shame he's going to the right-hand side because as we've seen, all the wear in the pitch where the grammar school at Leeds players would be struggling to clear their lines is on the left-hand side.
Beckwith.
Northumbria powder.
Collected by number 8, Will Shepherd. Now, charge forward.
Is he fat?
Keep it up! Comes a few more men, here comes a few more of the cavalry. Still going over the halfway line, and Barnard Castle under pressure. Trying to take over Sam Ward's shirt. Picked up by Volser. Intercepted pass! This could be the end that Barnard Castle need. Ethan Kelso's the man who's got under the post, and it's Christmas come early.
Well, Grammar School at Leeds didn't heed the warning when they got away with it last time. You could see what they were trying to do. They were trying to reenact what they did for the first try, where they just delayed the pass. Then one of the centres hits the line and smashes through for Grammar School at Leeds, should I say. But what they did was delayed it for far too long. It was read well by the Barnard Castle defence, and Ethan Kelso. We'll just have a look at the replay now. Initially, it was a good drive from Grammar School at Leeds. Drifting. He had 3 options there, but it was well read by Ethan Kelso. He had an easy run in from 35 or 40 metres under the sticks, and all of a sudden, that scoreline is looking a lot more favourable.
Version was relatively simple and already been put over, and all of a sudden, Dave, 15-3 to 15-10.
Oh, is that what you're saying?
They were right in this time.
Well, think about the amount of times you said it's one-way traffic. It's one-way traffic, and watching the game, Grammar School at Leeds have had some fantastic breaks, some fantastic territory, but Sam Leeming has kicked very hard under pressure for Barnard Castle, and that's a great take over in the corner as well. And all of a sudden they've taken their opportunity when it's come, even though it's a little bit of luck, but you make your own luck in this game, and all of a sudden they're just an unconverted score behind.
6 minutes to go. Just to give you an idea, by the way, our clock is only an approximation. We've gone the referee's whistle.
Yeah, he's the best prop in the world.
Leeds have it inside the Barnard Castle 22, looking for a response immediately.
Let's go, Max K. Let's go, Max.
Ball is dropped though by Bolser, but the referee has given a penalty.
Yeah, Barnard Castle diving through over the top off their feet, and they often say you're at the most vulnerable when you've just scored. It'll be interesting to see what Grammar School at Leeds do.
We need Gorman on it.
Well, that
Gorman
takes
starts
just
more
over
than
a converted score. No, they're going for the corner. Very brave, and who can blame them, particularly the way this set piece has gone. They've already scored a try from a very similar position at the moment. Previously, and it'll be interesting to see if Barnard Castle set up with that blindside attack in their mind. Options really open for Grammar School at Leeds, and a great chance to strike right back.
We've got many balls on the field, people who are diving into the bushes to try and find them at the minute, so there's going to be a little bit of a delay in some cases.
This is often the case. It's a fantastic pitch, to be fair. Credit to the groundsman to get it into condition, because the rain has been absolutely, well, cats and dogs lashing it down, whatever you want to refer to it as. It's been heavy.
Let's go, Kay.
Let's go, Max.
Let's go, Maxie.
Yeah, let's go, Kay.
There's Maxie.
Get the ball to Max.
Simon Phillips.
That's Max K. He's in Max and Max
as well.
Insta.
You can follow him.
Let's go, Max.
They're going for the drive instead. Barnard Castle under pressure. Well, 7-8 metres out. Here comes the drive again. They're going to continue to go forward. Couple metres out. Here comes the play. Bolser. Excellent tackle. Stops Leeds in their tracks. Makes it. Going to try again. Bolser.
He's isolated. Get rid of him. He's isolated. Simon's isolated. Oh, God, he's only on the dot.
The referee stops the play. Into his pocket. It'll be a card coming up for somebody. Number 6, in fact, it is.
Oh, see ya.
It is Callum Fawcett who's going to spend the rest of the half in the bin.
Well, it was Callum Fawcett who came rushing out of the line to make the tackle.
We'll talk about that in a minute. We're just going to see if Leeds going to score here. They do indeed. Dominic Hartman is the man who sent Leeds 10 points clear now.
Great offense.
And back in the ascendancy, they double their lead, 5 to 10.
Well, Grammar School at Leeds have taken that so quickly that you even caught me out with that one. It was number 6 for Barnard Castle, Callum Fawcett. He came rushing out of the line to make what looked like a good tackle to halt the Grammar School at Leeds attack, but the referee spotted something. Perhaps he was offside. Maybe we'll be able to see that on a replay at some stage, but he wasn't happy with what happened with Fawcett, and he's been given 10 minutes in the bin. And the worst case scenario for the away team, Grammar School at Leeds take the penalty quickly, and once again it's that man Tom Gorman who goes over for his second of the match. 20-10.
20-10, the point indeed is the scoreline right now, and it will be Harrison Brownrow looking to and the extras. Decent kick it is as well. And over it goes, in fact, a superb kick from Harrison Brownrow. It is now Grammar School at Leeds 22 points to Barnard Castle's 10, with around 2.5 minutes plus change in this first half.
He's got pace, he's got power. You see these behind the hook? The power of 3 is with the wingers.
Well, Barnard Castle got back into this game with a little bit of, well, some say good fortune, but they got to really try and grab something at the end of this half, and that's gone straight into touching exactly what they didn't need.
Yeah, the yellow card's a tough break, really, because at 15-10 it was game on, but Grammar School at Leeds did exactly what any good team does, and they bounced back well. They went deep with the kick because they knew that Barnard Castle would be under pressure. They managed to get the ball back straight away, and after forcing the penalty, Tom Gorman, it was a good finish from close range. We've seen already in this half that he's a very difficult player to stop when he's in full flight, and he's got 2 tries to his name as we reach the end of the first half.
Sam Ward, the Leeds captain, takes it. Leeds with a man advantage as they get towards the halfway line and continue to drive forward. This is what reaped dividends for them a few moments ago before the first try, and they already have a penalty advantage. Here they come again, number 3, Dominic Hardman, the 3rd try scorer. Over towards the 10-metre line. Getting over the gain line are Leeds, and now really in the ascendancy. Here they come again, number 15, Jonathan Haslam. Referee says that one went a little bit forward, and we'll come back.
Yeah, but
start again.
Grammar School at Leeds full of confidence now. They've changed their tactic from the line-outs. They've got that really steady drive going. We've just got a player there asking how long until half-time. But all of a sudden, once the forwards have set the platform, the offload in there, we saw one out of the back door with a 12-point lead. The showbiz stuff is coming out, and Barnard Castle really need to plug the gaps, otherwise it could be a long second half for them.
Getting towards the end of this first half. And Leeds 12 points clear. Just to remind you, it's an approximation now o'clock. We go on the referee's watch and the referee's whistle. But Leeds looking to really add to their advantage here as we approach the end of this first half. Sam Ward again, Irish Exiles player. Good line out and an excellent take it is from Leeds, and they're off and running again. Number 3, Dominic Hardman, the 3rd try scorer inside the 22. Here come the cavalry for Leeds. They have numbers on the left-hand side. Bolsa. Little dink forward this for Tom Gorman, and it's just a little bit too much petrol in that engine, and the ball goes out of play.
Well, you could tell Gorman fancied that one as well. It was a lovely little dab through, but a bit too much on it.
And the referee has played it right to our watch. In fact, it's 35 minutes came up on our clock, and 35 minutes is what the referee's played. That is the end of this first half. The Grammar School at Leeds lead by 22 points to 10. So let's have a look at a couple of tries from this first half, Dave. Just to chat through a couple of these. Leeds been the better team of this first half. I think everybody would agree on that assessment.
Yeah,
and,
we're just
some of these
seeing-
tries have been some good quality, haven't they?
We're just seeing the finish for the first try there. It was almost the first attack, and you can see how much it means. Everyone was chasing him. The reason there was such a gap before they got to him is because Tom Gorman hit the line at absolute light speed. He literally got the ball from the 10, and there was nothing Barnard Castle could do. He hit a great line, and that was just the start that Grammar School at Leeds wanted. The second one, training ground move, forwards with the handling from the line out, finished on the blind side, and Barnard Castle's well, their luck came in here because it looked as if Leeds had got the next score, then it would have been game over, but it was well read from Ethan Kelsall. There'd already been one interception from John Clouston that was called for offside, but Ethan Kelsall there read the play, and at that stage we thought the next score was really vital, but it went to Grammar School at Leeds, unfortunately, for the away team. Again, good handling from the tap penalty, and it was that man, the number 13, Tom Gorman, who went over for his second, and that was the final score before half-time, 22-10. Grammar School at Leeds, good for their lead at the moment, but I've watched enough games in this competition to know that comebacks are a definite possibility, so literally anything could happen in this second half.
Indeed it could, and indeed it may happen. Just a quick question to you though, Dave. Barnard Castle, what do they need to do?
Well, what they need to do is when they do get territory, not just give it away. And I say just give it away, that does Grammar School at Leeds a disservice, because the way they've been able to run the ball from deep and just make territory all sorts of ways, whether it's counter-attacking from the backs, whether it's the forwards building a platform, whether it's kicking to that corner and plugging Barnard Castle in their own territory, they have played the territory game superbly, have the Grammar School at Leeds, whether it be in attack or defence. Barnard Castle, really what they need to do is score first in the second half and get a little bit of confidence. Sam Leeming has showed that he can control a game, and there have been many occasions where he's really dug his team out of pressure. What he'll be hoping is he gets more ball in good areas in the second half to allow his backs and maybe even his forwards to flourish.
Well, we shall see. More from us very shortly. Half-time, Grammar School at Leeds 22, Barnard Castle 10. Well, not wasting any time. Very quick turnaround. And it will be Sam Leeming getting us underway in the second half. 22 points to 10. Barnard Castle trail here, and the first score vital.
Yeah, absolutely vital. Interesting that Barnard Castle didn't choose to go as deep as Grammar School at Leeds had so much success from their kickoffs. Going the other way, that's a good chase from the number 6 as well, and straight away Barnard Castle are under pressure in this second half.
Indeed they are. It was a good tackle there on by Jonathan Webster, and Barnard Castle under pressure here right from the off, and Leeds have it. A little kick away, and it finds touch, and Leeds in the ascendancy once again.
Yeah, Barnard Castle managed to steal that one back there and relieve a little bit of pressure. But what it does mean is Leeds get an opportunity to launch an attack from this solid line-out that did them so well in the first half.
So then, Leeds getting ready to carry on as they have been, but a little bit of a loose line-out there this time from the captain Sam Ward, and Barnard Castle may have picked this up, but it's gone out right in the middle, and it's been turned over by Leeds again. So a little bit loose, a little bit wet is that ball. We were expecting maybe a few knock-ons today, but both teams have done well in the conditions. And here is number 9, Hardy Bolson. He's away and he's running and he's into the 22. A little bit of a slip. Tries to get past Tom Metcalf. Doesn't go this time, but Leeds really trying to press on that advantage here. Continuing to dive forward, but may have been turned over here. And Barnard Castle will have the chance to clear. It looks like they will do. Harvey Barks, Metcalf, sliced off his foot, but it is a chance to clear, and hopefully That gentleman in the uniform hasn't got his uniform too muddy.
Yes, look at him. He's absolutely fuming with that. The outside half has done well to clear his lines there because it wasn't the best pass. There was great footwork from Harry Bolser, the scrum half, in the lead up to that. All he needed was a man on his left or right shoulder, which in fact is something that Grammar School at Leeds have done very well. Yeah, he's beaten 2 men already there, just loses his footing in the heavy ground. But if the 13, Tom Gorman, had hit the lines that he's been hitting all day, then he'd have been in for his hat-trick. But here come Leeds again.
Ward goes long and collects as well from the line-out. Heavy tackle, but collected by Bolser. Bolser goes on the right, little chip forward from Brown Raw, and it goes out, and it will be a chance for Barnard Castle.
Sam Ward has taken the ball from the line out there, and front rowers just love running into open grass. He could have had options left, right, forward, backward, but there is no way that he wasn't going to seek the contact there. But he got his team on the foot again into the corner. He'd have perhaps wanted to put the try line under a bit more pressure, but Barnard Castle's line out has been a little bit shaky, and this is the first one of the second half. They're going to need to make it a good one.
Indeed, it is an important one for Jack Beckwith to get right. Goes long and taken by Sam Ward, and this is a good chance now for Leeds. Sloppy line out from Barnard Castle. 5 metres out. Bolser goes right. Little drive forward, and this could be the first score of this second half. Leeds just metres away. Good tackle that is from Sam Adamson to send Harry Bolser back. Just took his eye off the ball there, but Leeds still have it. Bolser going to his left this time. Number 3, Dominic Hardman. Bolser. Francis. And the referee gives Barnard Castle the penalty, holding on a little bit too long there, and Barnard Castle with the chance to clear.
Well, it was good defence from Barnard Castle, particularly from Sam Adamson, who came in and he made an important tackle on the scrum half. But then when they're underneath the sticks, they've got Harry Bolser looking up when he's got men out to his left-hand side. But instead of outside halves and centres, he's got Harry Francis taking the ball on. You know, that's the last thing you want is your second rowers who, with respect, don't always have the best of hands, who are just going to charge for the line. We'll see on the replay there. We've got the prop Dominic Hardman taking it in. He makes yards. Again, they come forward. And as we say, we've got Francis there when there are men outside him, and they really should have scored there. That's a chance gone begging, but great for Barnard Castle. Good defence from them. They've relieved the pressure. Now what we need is a good line out, and again, it's a little bit scrappy, but they've come away with it.
It was a little bit scrappy. James Davidson was the one who collected the scraps from it. Leaving. And now Barnard Castle trying to go full of running. They've lost the ball though, and Leeds do have a knock-on advantage. I think that will be. But it looks like they've turned it over, and they will collect with Bolser. Bolser goes to his right-hand side and uses Francis again. Francis gains a little bit of yards. Bolser. Ball pops out, still in play. Or is it? It's a little bit loose, a little bit free running, a little bit scrappy right now. A little bit of a high tackle there from James Davidson. Bolser with it, goes to his right, uses Sam Ward, the captain.
Huge tackle there from Beckwith in midfield.
Ward. Ball is out, but who wants it? Instead, it's been turned over by Barnard Castle, and now looking for a counter-attack. And again, this is what we're seeing now, all you expected here, Dave. The ball is very loose, very slippy in that wet mud.
Yeah, it's got a little bit scrappy. That might suit Barnard Castle. We've seen big hits from Jack Beckwith and James Davidson. You know, if they can impose on this game, it might be a great way of getting them back. But Barnard Castle opportunity to very exciting. Often it's been a little handling error that's let them down. Also, Jack Beckwith, we've mentioned his big hits, but he's had 2 line-outs so far. The first one down in the corner, he's put his forwards under a tremendous amount of pressure with a loose throw that's gone all the way over everyone that Leeds have turned over. Even the one that we've just seen, it ended up back with Barnard throw. The second rower couldn't quite gather. So if they can cut out these little mistakes, we've seen that as the game wears on, they can certainly get back into this, but they need to play error-free rugby.
Bolser Little chip forward by Brown Raw, collected by Tom Metcalf. Tries a little bit of an attack from deep. And my director just spotted it's the first time he's got money today. Our cards have been dumped into touch. And again, Leeds, excellent on the offence, but the defence not too bad either.
Yeah, Metcalf's done really well there actually, because it was a lovely little dink over the top and Tom Gorman was sniffing around looking for his hat-trick, but Metcalf dealt with that well, and it's been brought back for a penalty, and Barnard Castle for the first time in this half with a little bit of territory. I wonder what they can do with it.
Well, deep inside the 22 is where Sam Leeming, with that rocket of a right boot, sent this even into the wind. From deep inside his own half.
Really,
Paul Thorburn-esque with that right leg, isn't it?
Absolutely. Sorry for talking over you there. What I was going to say was really important that Jack Beckwith gets a good throw in here. Really important, not only for his team, but for his personal confidence.
How's his throw this time? It's again a little bit loose and scrappy, but Barnard Castle still have it, and now they're going to go for a little drive themselves. They continue to go forward, putting the Leeds defence under pressure. There is the ball there for Harry Barks if he fancies it, but they're going to go themselves, and they can see the Leeds defence struggling to get their footing in that mud. So Barks will have it now, and he goes to his right-hand side. Leeming inside this time, crunching tackle there on Ethan Kelsall.
Monster tackle. The referee's bringing it back. Huge work in midfield there from the grammar school at Leeds, but they're going to go with the quick penalty now. Barnard Castle.
Tap and go. Barks, here they come. Barnard Castle again, only a couple of metres out. Barks goes to his right-hand side. Another crunching tackle as well. Thunderbolt of a tackle that was. And hopefully he might wake up sometime today. And in all fairness, the referee has stopped play again, and I think it's going to be another penalty here for Barnard Castle, and they're going to watch their discipline here, Leeds.
Well, all of a sudden the hits have come flying in. It started off with Jack Beckwith and James Davidson in midfield for Barnard Castle, but all of a sudden Grammar School at Leeds have thought, we're at home here, we're going to put the hits in too, and that was an absolute crunching tackle.
Got to be careful here, though. Again, Dave, they've given away 2 penalties here, just 5 metres out, and the referee will, you know, if it's a strict referee, he could be underneath the post here.
Well, they've gone for the scrum, which is interesting. They've Grammar School at Leeds have dealt with everything very well at the moment, but obviously due to a scrum, they'll have less people in the defensive line. We can also see that Jonathan Webster is back on after his sin binning, so Barnard Castle back up to 15 players with a great opportunity here, but that's a great scrum from Grammar School at Leeds and they've turned it over.
But a good tackle there from Harvey Barks. And the kick forward, so opportunity missed there for Barnard Castle. Metcalf collects on, now a chance to counter-attack with Hamish Glover. Glover sends it to his left-hand side. A little bit of a high tackle there, and the referee has put his arm out straight away, so there'll be a penalty advantage here for Barnard Castle. But they're going to continue with it, and inside the 22 they come. Barks continuing to go forward, decides to go for a little darting run himself, and another penalty advantage as well. So good opportunity here for Barnard Castle, and this is one of the few attacking phases we've seen in this game, Dave, hasn't it?
Well, this is the best we've seen them, and this is exactly what they need to do. They really butchered that opportunity. They should have scored from that penalty they had on the line, but what they've done is they've used that, and they've taken the momentum into this attack, and they've used the forwards in this particular phase better than they have throughout the match. It's just important that they keep their heads here, and that's gone on. But the referee, instead of blowing for the knock-on, has continued with the advantage.
And now then, here we go. Yellow card has been given, and Leeds will be down to 14 men. Can't see who that was on our screen.
I think it was the prop Oswald.
I think it is. In fact, it is. The Abhijit Oswald, the number 1, the prop, is going to spend the next 10 minutes in the bin, and now a big advantage for Barnard Castle.
Well, Barnard Castle, for the first time, have been able to gather some momentum. The forwards have really sort of pulled their socks up, and they've taken it to Grammar School at Leeds. They'll have been really, really hurt that Grammar School at Leeds turned over that scrum. It was great work from the Grammar School at Leeds defence. But from that, Barnard Castle have come forward. They've come forward, and they're playing the rugby where they need to. We said the first score will be important. Leeds have missed one fantastic opportunity, as have Barnard Castle, but they really must score here, you feel.
Beckwith with the line. They said the average points conceded is 7, when they're down to 14. We saw that at the end of the first half. And again, it's sloppy again, but the referee said that one was not straight. So it'll be scrum down. And Leeds will have the put in and the opportunity missed.
Oh, the Barnard Castle coaching staff will be absolutely tearing their hair out here. They have had 2 gilt-edged opportunities. With hindsight, was the scrum the right decision to take? You know, it's a really wet pitch. It's been difficult for either pack to really impose themselves. I think that was a decision made on the back of the fact that they'd just given everything and run at the Grammar School at Leeds defence, but it's been an absolute grey wall. They've been very, very disciplined. However, as we've got a replacement front rower coming on here, is that George Shepherd?
I got no, it's Gerard Ellis. I do beg your pardon.
Apologies. Gerard Ellis has just come on for the replacement in the front row. Really, they just have to make something happen. They just have to maintain their composure, which is very difficult to do when you're chasing the game. They're doing everything right at the moment until it comes to that final step. But that's a great scrum from the away team.
It is a good scrum there from Barnard Castle, and they put John Haslam under pressure, and they won the penalty of Barnard Castle.
Well, it's coming. It's coming.
Barks. They got the 1-1 advantage as well. Barnard Castle, can they reap dividends from it? Barks, that goes to his left-hand side, uses Isaac Brace. Barks again. It's a little bit of a juggling act, but continues to gain territory and momentum and possession, more importantly. Barks will go to his right this time. He uses the big man, Paul Beasley. Going up the blind side, and it's been loose and free. That ball is not in the best of conditions, and they have to go out of play. And once again, as my co-commentator sits back in his chair and says, opportunity missed once again.
A great defence from Grammar School at Leeds. Take nothing away from the home team. They have taken everything that Barnard Castle have been able to throw at them. What I will say is, we mentioned it in the first half, even the first couple of plays, it's strange. Barnard Castle don't really seem to have any options in the backs at all. So often the scrum half looks up and he'll pop out a pass, then no one's running any angles, they've got no depth on their attack. When they take it through the forwards, they look great, but you can't do that in the final 5 metres of the pitch, because Grammar School at Leeds can deal with it, and they're plugging that corner now, and all of a sudden Barnard Castle are on the back foot again.
Metcalf under pressure, beats one man, beats a second, uses the man on the left-hand side, chucks it back into play back to Metcalf again, and he's under pressure though, him and Hamish Glover. And now it's a little bit loose. They've got the one-man advantage as well here, so a good counter-attack here from Barnard Castle, with the ball and the play being especially open. They may have a little bit of a chance here. John Clouston chips it forward. Tries a little tap tackle on Dominic Harmon, doesn't work though. Leads up to the 22. Go to their right, using the blindside, ball knocked forward. Barnard Castle will now have a chance to clear their lines from inside their own 22.
Well, let's go back to when Tom Metcalf has taken that ball and he's popped it off to Hamish Glover, who thought he could go on the outside. Then he's thrown it blindly back in field. That was really not one out of the playbook, that's for sure. Tom Metcalf managed to deal with it in the end. It's been lost forward. The game sort of starting to break up a little bit. We can have a replay of this now. Metcalf does well. He beats the first man, steps inside the second, does really well with his footwork given the conditions. Hamish Glover can't quite get outside. Then thankfully for him, Metcalf can pick up the pieces. It was a good tackle. Again, Grammar School at Leeds defending very well, but Barnard Castle putting themselves under a bit of unnecessary pressure inside their own 22. Again, could that be born of the frustration of being unable to get over the line? They've done reasonably well here, but again, though, it's handling errors that have let them down. But we'll go back to the line out.
There's just a little bit of a delay in the play. There's a little bit of an injury on the field right now, as you see right at the bottom of your screen.
So it's been a lot more competitive in the opening 15 minutes or so of this second half, as we see Jack Makepeace, the referee, just going over to check on Will Shepherd there, the vice captain of Grammar School at Leeds. Barnard Castle have certainly been a lot more consistent and a lot more structured in the way that they've attacked the Grammar School at Leeds in the second half. But they're just lacking that cutting edge. They can see the line, they just can't get over it.
So near yet so far. And somebody begins to bang the drum.
Do you know what? It's absolutely freezing outside. We've been outside. Thankfully, we've got the warmth of the broadcast truck. But there is only one coat. Only one of those lads in a coat. They're a lot braver than you and I, Johnny.
Indeed they are, but they're made of thicker stuff and tougher stuff in this part of the world, as they'll say many a times in Yorkshire. They have different gravy on their dinner on a Sunday. Unlike me and you, my good friend from the Principality. Barnard Castle with the scrum. Harvey Barks with the put in at the scrum. Leeds still down to 14, just to remind you as well, but they've only got a few minutes for Barnard Castle to make this advantage pay, and now they're going to do a little bit of running rugby. Metcalf, little dink forward, as many of the pupils here at the Grammar School Leeds dodge that ball like a bullet so it doesn't go on their uniforms. I'm pretty sure the headmaster may have a go at them in assembly tomorrow with a little bit of mud on their trousers.
Well, that was a lot of effort there for not a lot of gain. They tried to run the ball out, but it was all very lateral. What we had from Grammar School at Leeds in the first half were the centres running really dominant, really positive forward lines that was causing the Barnard Castle defence some real headaches. What that was from Barnard Castle was a little bit better, it was a little bit more fluent, but there was nothing really for Grammar School at Leeds to worry about. All they had to do was drift in the defence, and they'd end up with the ball back.
But they are the ones with the ball in possession right now. Leeds begin to run forward, trying to skip past two men, 3 men. Tom Gorman, a good player he is indeed, and he's shown his class here this afternoon. Bolsa. A little bit of a loose pass to Harry Francis. Bolsa again, goes to his right. A little bit of a darting little dummy sold by Harrison Brown-Raw. And how's the kick? It's pretty good, in fact, inside the Barnard Castle 22. And now they'll try and slow this down as well to try and get rid of that 10 minutes and get their quota back to 15.
Well, absolutely. They've been under pressure for the first time in the match in this half, and twice they've dealt with Barnard Castle on the line. So now it's opportunity for them to play a little bit of rugby at their pace. There's no hurry. They're 2 scores ahead. So even if Barnard Castle do nick something, they've still got the scoreboard and the clock on their side. Harrison Brown-Raw there saw that the attack wasn't really going anywhere, so put in a lovely little dink, and we're back in the Barnard Castle 22.
Barnard Castle indeed will have the line out. Picked up by Leeds, and the line out has been not their friend today as Barnard Castle, and all of a sudden Leeds on the front foot, even with that 1 man missing. Continue to drive forward, and here it is, Dominic Hardman, ball is dropped. Did it go backwards? Did it go backwards? The referee said no, and what a chance that was.
Well, Barnard Castle have got away with them there. It was Dominic Hardman, wasn't it? The prop. He's taken the ball on a couple of times today. He's a really physical runner. Is that the referee calling the yellow card back on there? He's broken through the gap. It wasn't particularly good tackling from Barnard Castle. They were going high on the shirt. They weren't really trying to take him down at the legs, which with big guys like that is what you need to do. As here comes Oswald, the sin bin from Grammar School at Leeds. Luckily for them, as he was charging for the line, something's gone wrong, and that wet ball has popped out of his grip. But 27, and it would have been 29-10. We're just going to see the replay now. Yeah, it was really not very good tackling, particularly from a number 8. I think it was the 9, Harvey Barks, that just managed to get something on him to just dislodge the ball.
15 minutes to play here in Leeds. Grammar School Leeds 22. Barnard Castle School 10. Barnard Castle really have been on the front foot for much of this half, but they haven't added any points to the scoreboard. They've been huffing and puffing, but they can't blow the Leeds house down. So now they're going to try and attack from their own half, resorting to plan B, a little bit of running rugby. Leeming hits the ball upfield. He's got a bit of a good boot on him, but it lands back down in Jonathan Haslam's hands, and he hits a left boot right down inside the 22. Looks like Metcalf wants to take this one quickly. In fact, it went out on the full. Back they go.
Yeah, rare mistake there. He was aiming for that corner where we mentioned in the first half the pitch is really, really wet, and it would be an absolute nightmare to try and get out from there, as Metcalf and Glover proved earlier. You just can't get any footing on the pitch, but he had a bit too much juice on it, and so Barnard Castle will have the line out much closer to the halfway line. Needs to be a good one.
Beckwith with it. The hooker, he hasn't had the best day at the office today, must be said. Bolser picked it up. Picked up by Webster. Bolser. Sam Ward, the captain. Good little tap tackle there by Hull Beasley. Bolser again. A little bit of loose pass was put under pressure, but picked up by Max Hay. Bolser goes to his right. Long pass. Nice little one inside. Good tackle, and it will be Barnard Castle with a knock-on advantage. They'll either put it at the scrum as the sun shines here up in Leeds. Metcalf. Ball is now come loose, but they'll come back for the put in at the scrum. And talking a little bit scrappy all of a sudden.
Yeah, what we're seeing, particularly from Grammar School at Leeds, it was the backs that were dominant in the first half. As I said, we had Newitt and Gorman hitting really good lines and getting over the try line. What we've seen now as the pitch has started to deteriorate is some of their forwards, particularly the front rowers, Ward and Harmon, really taking the ball on, really taking it to the Barnard Castle defence, but it's just so hard to keep a hold of this ball. Barnard Castle are still in this one. It's just a shame that Jack Beckwith can't quite get his arrows right, because they've had plenty of opportunity from the line out, but it just hasn't been consistent, so they've not been able to get the ball that they've wanted. But here they have it in the middle of the pitch and an opportunity to do something.
Metcalf gets on one player and another. Glover. Barks. Good take there from Leeming, but the offload wasn't the best, and the referee calls play back for a penalty. And it will be a chance for Sam Leeming to gain some territory with this right boot of his. But will it find touch? It doesn't look like it has. So Barnard Castle will look to try and put Leeds under pressure inside their own 22.
Yeah, mistake there from the outside half. Needed to find touch there, really, but could it be a blessing in disguise? Will they be able to attack here from broken play? That's a mistake from Metcalf.
Metcalf drops the ball. 11.5 minutes or so to go, and Leeds will have the line out on the halfway line.
That's a shame for Metcalf, you know, because he's had to really, really work hard in this match. There have been a couple of times where there's been a 50-50 kick, or he's got the ball deep, and he's generally beaten the first man. So that kick goes to him there, and all the options are open. You feel as though he's one of Barnard Castle's best opportunities to get back into the match, as we've got a substitution for Barnard Castle. That's Tom Hunter, who's just come on. But he makes the mistake, knocks it into touch. And here come Leeds again.
Leeds going forward. Inside now the Barnard Castle half as they go over the halfway line. Quietly going about their business. Gaining the yards, gaining the territory as the sun comes out here up in Yorkshire. Picked up by number 13, Gorman. On the halfway line, Bolser goes to his left. Picked up by Francis. With the offload to Harrison Brown, roll, little chip and chase. Metcalf will look to collect, and it's a little bit loose, and it looks like it may be a penalty advantage being given here. And the ball comes out and loose again, but no doubt they'll come back for that knock-on.
Well, we've gone and given Tom Metcalf the commentator's curse, haven't we? We've just said how well he's done, and that's 2 handling errors from the Barnard Castle fullback in the space of a minute. That corner, we've said it so many times in this commentary, it's just a nightmare for trying to gather the ball. We've seen it twice there. First, Metcalf knocks on, then from the resulting counter-attack, it's knocked on by a Leeds man. We're just seeing a replay there. It was good yards initially from the second row. He was going backwards, managed to find the offload. Bolser and Brown Raw combined. There's a little nudge through, and Metcalf can't quite gather it. Again, they've got out of jail there as we've got another substitution. We've got Tom Megson, who's come on for Harry Bolser at scrum half. Wow, he's got a clean kit, hasn't he? We'll see how long that lasts for.
Indeed, he's the cleanest man on the pitch right now. And the referee has stopped play again. Scrum down, Leeds ball inside the Barnard Castle 22. Leeds looking comfortable here. Nine minutes or so of play left in this match, as the low sun setting behind the school to give them long shadows on the pitch as you get this time of year in November, and everybody can see the gentleman in the background there with his hands over his eyes as the sun is in the nice look. It's not in one way or the other, it's just coming out from the ground. Barnard Castle looking to turn it over, not going to be this time though. Number 16, Gerard Ellis, one of the replacements. To number 5, Simon Phillips. Barnard Castle looking to call men over on their left-hand side. They're looking for reinforcements, and there could be a chance here for Leeds to put this game to bed. Newitt to Gorman. Gorman looking for the man, looking for a bit of help. He may get it. He may get it, and looks like that game could be put to bed right now. Another try for Leeds, and this game is over.
Well, credit to Leeds there. We've seen handling error really sneak. Been forward dominant. Grammar School's handling for that try has been absolutely fantastic. Hopefully we can have a look at the replay. They did all the hard yards over on the left-hand side with the forwards. It's hard to tell who's who now. We can see the substitute scrum half. It's the forwards who build the platform. We've got the second rower there, Simon Phillips making the hard yards.
And you can see Barnard Castle calling the reinforcements there, and Leeds, to their credit, see the gap.
Yep, so the 10 now pops it out to the centre, Will Newitt, who links with Tom Gorman, who's got 2 tries himself. Looks as though the opportunity for the is gone, but he hits the deck. There's the man on his shoulder, then a beautiful backdoor offload there for the supporting runner. Try time, and you'd have to say that's game over.
I think that could be, you could be right, that could be a game over. And how is the kick? Oh, it's a fantastic kick as well from Barnard. It really is. 19 points clear. And in all fairness, Dave, Ricky Wilson was a former pupil here at Leeds Grammar School of the Kaiser Chiefs who sang I Predict a Riot. Well, right now, I predict a rout.
You want to stop with those jokes or you'll be facing the angry mob.
19 points clear. Barnard Castle now need 3 converted scores to take this tie, and the clock is very much their enemy now. They put up a
He'd be looking for as we see some real zest there from the number 19, Tom Hunter, the substitute. What they have done is shown character in abundance. Not necessarily the quality to get over the line and get a result from here, but the fact that they were on the back foot right from the very first whistle. But for the vast majority of this second half, they have been a team thoroughly in this match, particularly in the forwards, very physical. Character is a word that we'll use a lot. They've shown it. Unfortunately, they just couldn't quite get the break when they wanted, and Grammar School at Leeds show their class to take their opportunity and put this game out of sight.
Megson with the foot in at the scrum inside their own 22, and Megson will look to send this to Harrison Brown. Under a little bit of pressure here though. Not the most confident of clearances in the world. And it is the number 4, Harry Francis, who pops this one up in the air. There's a player down right now, but the play does continue on with Hamish Glover. Sends the ball out to the left-hand side, a little kick forward, again it's gone loose, a little bit scrappy in these conditions. People can collect the ball and end up sliding about a good 10-15 metres the way it is on this pitch at the moment. Barks. Sends that out to his left-hand side. Barnard School looking for a consolation try here towards the death of this match. And a great tackle, a dumping tackle there. And something that brings a smile to my co-commentator's face. He likes to see that.
I certainly do. It was Hardman there, the number 3, got hold of him and scooped him up. But I want to talk about a man who I gave a little bit of stick to earlier, Harry Francis, the number 4 for Grammar School at Leeds. We had a bit of a go at him when he butchered that try-scoring opportunity when there were men away to his left, but he has been ever so busy in the second half. It was a clearing kick there, not necessarily the best, but he's been the first to most of the breakdowns. He's not been work shy in terms of taking the ball on, and he's made his tackles, so credit to that man. Very often, second rowers don't necessarily get the praise and the plaudits that they deserve, but Harry Francis for Grammar School at Leeds has been one of the best players on the park today for me.
Well, I'll ask you for your man of the match shortly, Dave, but as we go towards the final couple of minutes, 3 minutes to go for Barnard Castle here to try and pick up a consolation try. One thing I should say as well, Jack Beckwith is at the hooker at times, you know, looking for the treble 20. He's landed in the treble 5 and the treble 1 a few times, hasn't he?
That's a good way of putting it, actually. Again, he's been great around the park, particularly his tackling. He's been very physical.
Oh yeah, excellent. Very physical indeed.
And he's got around, but the line out, the set piece is such a key place to launch all your attacks from, and he's just not been clean with his arrows today whatsoever.
The referee just stopped play there. He's keeping an eye on something. I think there wasn't an injury in one of the earlier phases of play a couple of moments ago. So that's for the liner to be retaken. So we'll go again. Beckwith, take 2. How's the second one? And again, it was a little bit picked up there by Jonathan Webster, but Barnard Castle do have it back inside the Leeds 22. And a thumping tackle there from Gennard Ellis, who's been in exceptional since he's come on as well. Not afraid to do a little bit of physicality. Penalty given to Barnard Castle, and they go quickly. Number 10, Sam Leeming. Leeming ran one player and another, tries the inside pass, doesn't happen, instead the ball lands into touch.
Well, that sums up their day really, doesn't it? Couple of minutes to go. Sam Leeming, who's another player who's had a fantastic game, particularly with the boot. He goes quickly, beats the first man. There are 2 men outside him, but they just overrun it and they can't get the pass away for the try that really shouldn't really commit to things like this, but their second half performance deserves. You know, they've lost the game, and I don't think anyone can grumble with the result, but certainly Barnard Castle's industry, should I say, in the second half. If they did manage to grab a try, I don't think anyone would resent them that.
Replacement hooker, Robert Dunn for Leeds. A little bit scrappy again, so they send them back out into touch. A minute to go in this final. I should say in this semi-final. Minute to go in this match. Dave, you're man of the match.
You're gonna commit me to this, aren't you?
Indeed, I am.
There have been a number of good performances today, as I mentioned. In defence, the front row for Barnard Castle have been fantastic. Sam Leeming has kicked really well to relieve a lot of pressure. They've got one final opportunity to maybe salvage something here, so we'll come back to it next time the ball goes dead.
You keep a good eye on that pad in front of you and give me a man of the match as Barnard Castle keep coming for one consolation try and a little bit of running rugby towards the end of this game. Number 13, Jack Hadley. Inside to number 5, Callum Simpson. Simpson out to the right-hand side to Callum Fawcett. Barks. Leeming to the big man, Hall Beasley, who gains the yards. Parks again picks up. It's quick rugby this time from Barnard Castle. A little bit of a juggling act from James Davidson, who collects and retains possession. Barks again goes to his left-hand side. Uses Headley again. As they continue to drive forward, Barks on the blind side as Barnard Castle looking for this consolation try. They can see the whitewash there, only a couple of metres out. Here comes the drive for Barnard Castle. They're only a couple of metres away. They can see the white line. They go down this time, only 1-2 metres out. Barks tries to fish the ball out. He's gone through his legs, but he still collects. And here come Barnard Castle again. Good defence this from Leeds. It's been rock solid in the dying moments of this tie. Barks looking to his options, left and right. Picked up by number 6, Fawcett, who tries to go himself, tries to force a situation. Leeds have conceded the penalty. Number 19. Tom Hunter been sent back. Metcalf picked up. Uses number 14, Hamish Glover. Glover trying to go himself up the right wing, up the right channel instead. Tries to offload it and does so. Time is dead, but the referee is going to call call it back for the penalty. It's still in Barnard Castle hands, so they'll still have a chance to get a consolation score.
Well, they're going to have to go short with it, and it's going to be nothing more than a consolation score, but this is again a great show of character as they approach the line.
As the referee's going to have a good look at this one. Held up. And he looks at his watch as well. So he's got time for one more play.
I tell you what then, I'll commit to my man of the match now. It's got to be from Grammar School at Leeds. Credit to a lot of their players, particularly the scrum half, Harry Bolser, who's had to absolutely graft today. Harrison Brown-Raw has kicked immaculately, and Tom Gorman, of course, scored those 2 fantastic tries, showed pace and power. But what I am going to do is give it to that man I spoke about, the unfancied second rowers who never get the credit they deserve. I'm going to give it to number 4, Harry Francis. He's my man of the match.
So no doubt it'll be a beaming smile on Harry Francis's face when he watches this one back. It's been a good exhibition of rugby from Leeds. They've been in exceptional form.
Well, this will be 11 out of 11 for them now. What a fantastic record, and what a confidence booster for them to really grind out a win today on a very difficult playing surface and march on to Allianz Park, the home of Saracens, where they're going to play in a final on a fantastic flat 4G pitch in the middle of November.
Indeed they will, but Barnard Castle looking for a little bit of a consolation here at the death. Barks. Leeming. Inside. The crunching tackle, and they've been rock solid in defence, haven't they? The flanker, James Hemmings. Barks. Little tap and go for the penalty, and he's going to go himself. Did he get there? I think he did. And it's a consolation try there for the scrum half, Harvey Barks.
Delighted for him, because he has had to work so hard today. I spoke about Harry Bolser, but Harvey Barks, there have been so many times where he's been first to the breakdown, the ball's wet, it's cold, it's slippery, and he's looked up and he's had no options, so he's had to take it on himself and get battered by that Grammar School at Leeds pack. We spoke about character. How's that for character? 70 minutes in, phases, he's knackered, he's wet, he's cold, he's covered in mud, but he takes it quickly, he dives for the corner even though the match is already over. Credit to Harvey Barks, credit to Barnard Castle. Those 12 lads who are eligible for next year will come again next year, and I'm sure this isn't the last we've heard from this team, but with the last kick of the game, Grammar School at Leeds, fantastic performance from them, but don't take anything away from the Barnard Castle boys.
Indeed not. Sam Leeming will look to add the conversion extras to put this game to bed. But one critical question I could say, this is Barnard Castle the last 5 minutes, some of the best plays they've done in the match. Where was it for the last 65?
Oh, it's a crazy game, isn't it? Sports nuts in general, and it's so psychological. I mean, if we look back to the very first try when Tom Gorman hit that line, that's going to knock the stuffing out of Barnard Castle, who've probably been building themselves up to this for the last few weeks. Not quite enough on the kick, and that will be the final whistle there. But yeah, that knocks the stuffing out of them. They're on the back foot straight away. Straight from that, Grammar School at Leeds launch another lightning counter-attack, and it took until the second half for Barnard Castle to really get into the match. But again, as we've said before, huge credit for them for carrying on and getting the try that second half performance deserved.
Yes, we look forward to seeing them next year, as their coach who we chatted to beforehand said to us that these are a young team, and no doubt that 1 year from now they'll grow a lot stronger mentally and physically.
Yeah, they certainly will, but let's talk about the here and now. Grammar School at Leeds are marching on to the Under-18 Champions Trophy final. They're going to face either Oakham or Millfield in a couple of weeks' time, and that's going to be an absolute stormer.
Indeed, that's who they'll face. The final score here is Grammar School at Leeds 29, Barnard Castle 15. We don't know the score of that other semi-final, by the way, but you've seen both of them sides in this Champions Trophy. Tell me what we would expect then in a couple of weeks' time.
Well, Millfield, the match that I saw them in, they were on the back foot against Tunbridge, but they came through. They showed great character too to come back from a 14-point deficit, and they've got some absolutely electric backs. I think we're going to have a look at some of the tries now, the replays. But in terms of Oakham, again, great rugby school, and they ended a 17-match unbeaten run against Epsom College. So whichever team progresses, the schools are playing top-class rugby. They're steeped in history, and they're going to give the grammar school at Leeds a heck of a match to see who's going to be the champion.
So let's have a look at the highlights of the whole of this game. Well, we've seen many great tries, great incidents. We had a couple of cards in there. We had tries galore. It's intercepted passes. It's been a nice afternoon of rugby. It's been entertaining stuff.
Well, I should say so. Again, we're going to see the finish from Tom Gorman. What we didn't see was the incredible line that he ran. Classic centre play. They love hitting the line at 100 miles an hour. They beat the players, and then, especially in the first couple of minutes of the game, you're on the back foot straight away. Tom Gorman with a great finish there to get his team off the mark. What we've got now is great line-out play. Once again, grammar school at Leeds, everything. God, look how clean their kits are there in the first half. Everything was going grammar school at Leeds' way as they took that 12-0 lead. Then they got a little bit complacent as Barnard Castle started to come back into it, and it was well read from Ethan Kelsall, who absolutely stole onto that one following an earlier interception that was called back for offside. Then we thought it might be game on. Grammar school at Leeds still had most of the play, but Barnard Castle sort of had the bit between their teeth, but Leeds did what every team does really well. They dusted themselves off following conceding the try. We've got the outside half there, Harrison Brown-Raw, who had a great game, taking the penalty quickly, hitting Tom Gorman, again runs a great line, and he smashes over for his second, which was everything that took us up to half-time. Score-wise, we see a huge hit in the middle of the park there. It was grammar school at Leeds thundering in with the tackles. Absolutely monster hits. Great handoff there. He eventually gave away a penalty, but it was another show of character from Barnard Castle to show that even though the scoreboard wasn't on their side, they weren't going to give up. We had a couple of mistakes there from Tom Metcalf to put the pressure on his team. Then probably the try of the day, given the circumstances. Barnard Castle had given a much better account of themselves in the second half, but grammar school at Leeds showed some great handling when really handling hadn't been the flavour of the day in the second half in particular, once the ball got much wetter, much more slippery and much muddier. Finished over in the corner there after a delightful backdoor offload. So here's the final try. We spoke about that man, Harvey Barks. It was seemed as though it was 5 or 6 minutes of phase play from Barnard Castle, grammar school at Leeds, giving away penalties. The momentum kept on going. Eventually, it took them 35 minutes plus in the second half to get over the line, but they did it. It was no more than a consolation try, but 29-15 probably is a score that really reflects the match. Credit to both teams, and congratulations to grammar school at Leeds.
Congratulations to them indeed. They go to the final in Alliance Park. Final score here in Leeds, up in Yorkshire. The Grammar School at Leeds 29, Barnard Castle School 15. On behalf of Dave Rogers, this is Johnny Brown saying thank you for joining us. Good afternoon.